Hello, it's me, Levonsky, a kinda game developer from Human Creatures Incorporated. And here's a story of bullet loop development. Maybe you know one small niche game jam. It's called GMTK Game Jam 2025, with only 30k people signed in, just like, you know, your average birthday party. So yes, we attended this jam, because why not? And the theme for this jam was loop. Very original, yes, thank you. After the initial shock, we started brainstorming ideas, like taking different meanings or similar words for loop, like loophole in the law. We almost made a fake Ace Attorney game. Then we considered going into music's direction with loops, tracks, etc. Or more conventional approaches, like game about time loop. For example, bootleg copy of Outer Wilds. Or a deck building strategy game where you fight against your previous deck. But we settled on more promising and more unique theme, programming. Yes, the most obvious theme, even mentioned on the Jam main page, but we had a vision on how we can make it work. Basically, you'll have a while true loop with some commands in it, like spawn swarm that spawns some enemies, heal that heals player, delay that delays code's execution, etc. So we got to work. Thankfully, this wasn't our first project, so we had a bunch of reusable code lying around, a 2D movement script, a ready-to-use enemy pathfinding module, and a full damage system. A few hours later, a basic 2D top-down shooter was alive, and spoiler, it basically stayed that for the rest of the jam. Then we moved to the core gimmick, the code. Honestly, it wasn't that complicated. A tiny C# interface, a bunch of classes implementing it, and a simple queue of commands to execute. That was pretty much it. It worked right away, and by midday on day 2 we had a playable build. Boring as hell? Sure, but it worked. And then it happened. The if incident. By its chaotic nature, if brought nonlinear chaos into my nice, predictable queue. So I had to rewrite parts of my code, execution code. This was an easy enough fix. The real nightmare? The code display system. I basically had to throw away all of my so-called perfect work and start over. Nothing worked at all. The little arrow that should point at the currently executing command? Yeah, it was pointing at total garbage. Drag and drop, dead. Adding new lines, they appeared in random cursed places, like at the end of the loop when I was clearly trying to put them inside the if. And you know what? If was a complete waste of my time and sanity, because it has no real gameplay value and not using if is far better decision than using it. Meanwhile, my tireless friend Chifei was working on a wall generator to make each round feel different. We will check on him later, but for now you should know that he was shocked by how much we, and by we, I mean I, achieved. Then I tackled some random fun stuff. Adding some camera shake when you hit enemies or they hit you, particles effects for a bunch of different things, a CRT filter to sell the whole ASCII DOS programming vibe, and a main menu with cool-ass filing text from Matrix. But most of the real work went in two directions. First, gameplay content. I coded 4 enemy types: the dumb swarm, the annoying shooter, the fat, slow brawler, and the complete jerk, the sniper who ignores walls and shoots you from across the map. I also added pickable buffs, a speed buff, HP pack, and ammo packs that make you shoot faster and deal more damage, adding both fun and some actual strategic decisions to movement. Second, music and sound effects. I dropped in sound effects for shooting, dying, clicking buttons, and a bunch of other things, but the main thing was music. I had a music player script, but I always wanted something fancier, splitting musics in 3 tracks, main, bass and drums, and adjusting their volumes dynamically based on how many enemies are on screen and how much HP the player has lost. And yes, I did it, and it was beautiful. Meanwhile, Chifei implemented wall generation based on Conway's Game of Life. And let's just admire this beauty. By noon of day 3, we had about 80% of the content we wanted. So we decided to send free alpha 0.01 test build to some friends to collect useful feedback. Chifei carefully watched other people play, while I implemented quick changes. Like, for example, making the speed buff brighter, adding some jiggle to swarm movement so they wouldn't match in a single file, or making cards fade out when moved to the code display, and plenty more. This was huge. Without feedback, the game would have been just a shell of its intended form. To honor our testers' hard work, we added a leaderboard with their scores. Then the last day incident happened. In the first half of the day I quickly added some tutorial, because we had a lot of feedback from our previous games that they were cryptic and no one was sure how to play them. Then we tried to balance the game on the fly, because it was far easier than we had expected. And with just 14 minutes left, we uploaded the game to itch.io, just to see that it was broken from the sheer amount of games being submitted. And that's pretty much it. You can try this game yourself for the fair price of absolutely $0 on itch.io, link in the description. And for all the pain and suffering that it caused us, we earned... Honestly, I thought the game would attract more attention. I mean, I think it's a pretty cool as game, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, we've decided to keep working on it, probably in a more narrated, handcrafted direction, with some pre-made levels you can tweak with your own code, but nothing is set in stone yet, so stay tuned for next updates.